Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Jesus, Joan, and Journal. Today is July the 3rd. We are already over half of the year, right? We're in the 7th month, which means half of the year is gone. And here we are. And so, this month, Jesus, Joan, and Journal, first of all, I'm celebrating my birthday, but then also I want to encourage those of you that have not yet done anything for the year 2025 to encourage you that it is not too late to start. Now is as good a time as ever to start. So if you had plans on the things that you wanted to do in 2025 and have not yet done them, don't beat yourself up. It is not too late. It is not too late to start. You have a whole nother 6 months, right? And I know that the first half of the year was difficult for some people, very difficult for some people, right? And so I want to encourage you that if you come across any of my broadcasts for this month, for the summer month, now people are going on vacation and it's a little bit of time where people can rest and relax and lay back a little bit. Some people, not all, but don't beat yourself up if you have not started anything at the beginning of the year. Now is as good a time as ever. And I also want you to recognize that you owe it to yourself to do something. You owe it to your family to do something. You owe it to your community to do something. Good morning, Sister Cheryl. It's so nice to see you. So you owe it to yourself to do something for you, to do something for you. Good morning, Sister Janet. So if you have not done anything for 2025 that looks like it could be a legacy project for you, legacy building for you, something that you can be proud of, something that you can leave to your family, then now is the time to start. All right. So grab your pen, grab your journal, grab your coffee, share this broadcast out, and I will be back in a little bit. All right, welcome back. Good morning, Doc. Ooh, nice to see you. Thank you for jumping in. All right, guys. So today, this is day 3, Jesus, Joan, and Journal in the month of July. And if you look at my notes, you will see that today we are talking about mindset of the master builder. Mindset of the master builder. This entire month, our focus is going to be on legacy building for believers, legacy building for believers. And the goal is for you to build a legacy of something, right? Whether it is in books, whether it is in business, whether it is in buildings, whether it is in ministry, whether it is in mission, in the marketplace, in service, wherever it is. The goal is for you to build a business or build a legacy. And what I wanted to share with you is that we are all in different places and stages in our lives. Some of us started already. Some of us inherited legacy. Some of us will never inherit anything, but we're supposed to leave something. The Bible tells us that you have to leave an inheritance for the 3rd and the 4th generation. So we can't just be solely thinking about ourselves and our survival. We also have to be thinking about, who am I and what am I doing here and what do I need to leave here, right? for the generation that comes after me. And let me just share this with you. Our children are watching, your children are watching, your grandchildren are watching. So if you have children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, godsons, goddaughters, whatever it is, right? Best friends, you are auntie, you're not, you're still supposed to be leaving something. And when I tell you they're watching your every move. They're watching what you do. They're watching what you say. They're watching how you operate. I recently spoke to someone that's getting ready to write a book. And you know what she told me? She said that all my life, I grew up seeing my mother sleep through the day. That is all I saw my mother did, sleep. She always appeared lazy. She was never up. She didn't have the energy to prepare dinner or anything. We eat out, or she order in, or she get McDonald's, or she get whatever fast food she could get, or things that you put in the freezer and you microwave for a meal. She said, my mother always appeared lazy to me. And it wasn't until she herself became an adult that she realized her mother was suffering from depression. But as a child, she didn't understand it to be depression. She just thought in her mind that her mother was lazy. And so she grew up with this mentality and mindset about laziness. And so she told me she had to break the chains of that mindset and realize that it is not normal for someone to sleep throughout the day every day. So that's all she saw, right? So when I say your children and your grandchildren and your nieces and nephews, they are watching, right? The way you behave, the way you raise them, the way you operate, your presence, the way you show up, the way you walk in a room, the way you do your job, the way you build a business, the way you utilize your gifts and your skills and your talents says who you are. It really shows people who you are. And I can tell you that a lot of people that struggle with procrastination and struggle with laziness and struggle with the sense of unworthiness, it's something that bothers them. It is something that depresses them. It's almost as if they're in this duality where they want to do the thing, but they feel like they can't move to do the thing. And so they struggle with wanting to do it, but not having the courage, not having the chutzpah, not having the depth to do it. And so there is this struggle, right? So they're struggling because they want to do it. They know they should. They have it in their heart. They're passionate about it, but just doesn't have the drive to get it done. And so here I am today. If you're streaming through or passing through or you're scrolling through and you hear me say that, maybe you just stop for a moment and listen to the next thing that I have to say to you. Because today I'm speaking about the mindset of the master builder. The mindset of the master builder. And Philippians 2 and verse 5 says it. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ, right? So the same creator, day one, we talked about the creator and that we should create. We were created to create. We were created by the creator to be creative. So if we are built and formed and fashioned in the creator's image, we all have that DNA in us to be creative and to be creators, right? And so if we have that in us, we already formed and fashioned and built with the genes of creativity in us. Although a lot of us are creative in different ways, right? Some creatives are artsy, right? Some creatives are, techie. Some creatives are literary, right? So it all depends on what you find that you love to do and what you find that you can do, but you are supposed to be creating something, right? And so today we're talking about the mindset of the master builder. What cripples us most often from doing the thing that we want to do, that we desire to do, but feel stuck, is what we think, is how we think, is our mindset. It's what is in our thoughts, right? And you can't build what you don't first believe. You cannot build what you don't first believe. So you have to know within your heart that you can do this. Yes, you might need some help. Yes, you might reach out. You may need some additional resources to get it going, but you can do it. And to build, you have to first believe it. If you don't believe in you, then who do you expect to believe in you? So, right, you have to first believe it before you can build it. Before anything is built physically, it must be first conceived mentally. Before anything is built physically, it must be first conceived mentally. You got to see it before you see it. You got to see it before you see it. Like you got to see it up here before you see it anywhere else, right? That's why I love architects, because they get the whole blueprint in their mind. And then they take a piece of paper and they start drawing, right? The building isn't built yet, but they perceive it, they conceive it, they see it in their mind's eye. And they take their pencil and their square and their triangular thing, and they lay it on the paper, and from their vision, from their mind's eye, they see the thing, and they start to draw and measure and scale and put numbers in it, right? It's the same thing for us. Anything you want to build physically, you have to see it first, conceive it first mentally. And this is even building who you are, building on your dreams, building on your visions, right? That's why it says dreams and visions. But if you have a dream of doing something, you can't get it done unless you're taking a piece of paper and writing what you see in your mind. Put it on paper, write it down, conceive it mentally, and then write it. And it's the same way that Jesus approached his assignment when he came to earth, with intentionality, obedience, and clarity of purpose. And if Jesus, which we are made in his likeness, can conceive his assignment intentionally, with obedience, and with clarity of purpose, so must we. We must do the same thing. Good morning, Dr. Jasmine. Nice to see you. You have to first see the vision before you can start building. Yeah, you got to get it here first before you can start to see it, right? Legacy begins in the inner architect of your thoughts. That's where legacy begins, the inner architect of your thoughts. So if your mindset is limited, guess what? Your results will be limited too. If your mindset is limited, your results are going to be limited. I don't really want to talk about myself per se, and I can talk about so many other people. I'll take my guest that's going to be on with me tomorrow. I'll take her for example. When I met her, she was in a dark place. She knew who she was, but she didn't know who she was. Does that make sense? She knew who she was, but she didn't know who she was. All right? An oxymoron. She believed that she was supposed to be in a better place, but she couldn't conceive it. She believed it, but she couldn't conceive it. She knew in her heart she was meant to be better, to do better, but did not know how she was going to get there. Right? And so in her case, she needed someone just to say, I am going to help you get there because I believe in you. Right? All she needed was a push start. All she needed was someone to come along and say, I see it too. When she said, Joan, I know this is not supposed to be my life. I know this can't be all there is to me. I know that there has to be more. And I said to her, there is more in you. So let's get together and make more. Today, my God, I met her 2020, like 6 years ago. And she's a completely different person from the woman I met that was in darkness, right? So if the inner architect of your thoughts is filled with uncertainty and is filled with limited abilities or limited thinking, then there is no way you can get great results. You can only get the results that your limited mindset tells you that you will get. So when you say, I can't, when you say, I don't feel like it, when you say it is too hard, when you say, I can't get there right now, when you say, let me put it off, like this past Sunday, I preached a sermon for my church, and the title was called, Don't Let the Bed Block Your Blessing. That was the title of my message on Sunday. Don't let the bed block your blessing. And this is the story about the man at the pool of Bethesda. For 38 years, he was paralyzed, so he could not walk. And every day he would go, well, he lived under the colonnade. It's called the gate, the sheep gate, right? But the sheep gate in the Old Testament was used for people who wanted to give sacrifices. You know, they do their sacrifice once a year for the atonement of their sins. This was the Hebrew people, right? Atonement of their sins. And so this is the place where the sheep or whatever livestock they were using as their sacrifice, this is the place the sheep would go through this gate. And once the sheep go through this gate, you know that sheep is going to be sacrificed for the atonement of sins, right? And so they would call this place the point of no return. Well, you know, generations later, hundreds of years later, this was the same place, right? It was called the Bethesda, the pool at Bethesda. So there was this pool, and according to the belief of the people that time, every time the pool rises, the water rises, people would rush to be the first to dive into the pool, because whoever goes into the pool when that water rises would be healed. And so you had the sick people, the lame people, the people that were like the outcast of the society would hang around this pool at Bethesda just so they could be the first in the pool when the water rises, right? It had all this shading, like so coverage, like porticos or colonnades or shade. So because of that, they were protected from rain, sun, sleet, dust, the elements. So all the lame, sick, paralyzed, that they would kind of live in this like a homeless shelter, right? But this one man was there for 38 years and he just could not get into the pool because people who were not paralyzed were faster than him. And so they would go in first, right? And when Jesus approached him on this day, Jesus asked the question, do you want to be healed? Let's talk about mindset. Do you want to be healed? For 38 years, he laid there on his mat, because that's where he slept. That's where he did everything. He laid there on his mat for 38 years to the point where his mindset tells him that that's all he's going to be. And so when Jesus asked him the question, do you want to be healed? His response was not yes. He had such limited belief in what he could or could not do, that instead of saying, yes, I want to be healed, he says, nobody helps me to get into the pool. That was him pointing his ability to be healed onto somebody else's hand. Right? So he made an excuse that the reason why he is still there was because nobody else was helping in the pool. So what happened? His bed became his crutch. The pallet that he had became the crutch. The mat that he had sleeping on for 38 years was his crutch. It was how he was identified. He was identified by the mat that he was sleeping on. So when Jesus told him to get up, he didn't just say, get up and walk. He said, pick up the thing that has been your crutch. Pick up the thing that has been your vice. Pick up the thing that you were relying on that could not help you because you put so much, you gave the mat so much power that it became your idol. The mat became his idol. The mat became his vice. The mat became his crutch. The mat became the thing that told him he could not do anything else because his mindset could not see past the mat. Does that make sense to you? So I'm sharing this with you that if the legacy begins in your inner thoughts, and if your inner thoughts is relegated to the crutch that you have, if it's relegated to, I can't write this book because I don't know how to write. I can't build this business because I am not qualified. I can't go back to school because there's no way I can learn in my 50s. I can't do this because somebody else didn't give me an opportunity. I missed the opportunity because I'm not as smart as Joan. No, you missed the opportunity because the opportunity came, and because you were limited in your beliefs, you did not take the opportunity. Right? So if you don't believe, you cannot build. Right? So today I want you to write your first declaration for this. I will no longer build with fear, doubt, or delay. I build with the mind of Christ. That's how you change it. You have to first speak to you. You have to first speak to yourself. I will no longer build with fear, doubt, or delay. I build with the mind of Christ. Man, the master architect is the image that you were created in. Number 2, renewal is required for responsibility. Renewal is required for responsibility. Romans 12 and verse 2 says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So if you don't recognize that your mindset is what limits you, you can't move. You have to first recognize that it is my thinking, my limiting belief, what I tell myself, how I perceive myself, how I see myself, how I was raised, what I saw my family did. And if they hadn't done it, well, why? How am I going to do it? So you have to first recognize your own limiting beliefs and change those thoughts. And it's a daily thing. You can't just wake up one day and change your thoughts and believe, now my mindset is changed. It is a daily struggle, ladies and gentlemen. It is a daily struggle to renew your mind. It's every day. It's every day. Because if you live the first 30 years of your life thinking one way, and then all of a sudden you're hearing me say, change your mindset, it is not easy, but it is possible. And you have to feed yourself and speak to yourself every single day. You cannot carry a legacy building assignment with a poverty or a broken mindset. I'm going to say that again, because this piece I want you to hear loud and clear. You cannot carry a legacy building assignment with a poverty or a broken mindset. Legacy building and poverty mindset don't go together. Legacy building assignment and a broken mindset can't work together. You got to change that. Mind renewal is not a one-time act. Mind renewal is a daily discipline of aligning truth over trauma. It's a daily discipline of aligning truth over trauma. Real talk. God wants to upgrade your thoughts so that he can expand your territory. Right? You remember how the prayer of Jabez said, expand my territory? It's a very short prayer. Jabez was just saying, Lord, expand my territory. Well, it happened for Jabez, but it happened because Jabez believed it, right? He believed it, and so it happened. So here is declaration number 2 for you this morning. I am shedding small thinking and embracing God-sized visions. I am shedding small thinking and embracing God-sized visions. Number 3, your mindset is a blueprint for others. Your mindset is a blueprint for others. And Proverbs 23 and verse 7 says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. People don't just follow your words. They follow your mental patterns and how you lead in crisis, how you build in faith, and how you steward the vision. People, that's what people follow, right? And when I say people, I'm not talking about people on social media. I'm talking even your own family. I'm talking your children. I'm talking your grandchildren. I'm talking your nieces and nephews. I'm talking people around you. They follow you. They watch you. They see you. You can inspire them, or you can show them that there is no need for them to try. And I'm telling you, the children are watching you. They are watching you. Because I'm telling you, sometimes my grandson was here with me yesterday, Izzy. And I went upstairs and I have a white board that I put my word of the month, the word of the year, a certain scripture for me to meditate on for the whole year, and just certain goals that I want to achieve this year. And so right under all my stuff, he took my whiteboard marker and start to create his own thing. His own things, because he saw what I wrote, right? And then he said to me, he said, I want to own my own business. And I'm like, what kind of business you want to own? And he said, I want to own a camp where I teach boys how to play football, right? So they are watching you. They are seeing what you're doing, and they know that it is possible. It is possible for them. And what I love about children, they have the most incredible dreams and visions that is placed inside of them. And you cannot tell them that they can't do it. And that's how we were when we were young. We have that childlike faith, and then we got older and we become adults and we just lose that childlike faith, right? We need to go back to being children to have that childlike faith and see those visions. Right? So your children, your team, your clients, your friends, your family, they are watching how you process everything, how you process pressure, how you process, procedures, and how you produce. They're watching. Your mindset can either imprison your legacy or propel it forward. So if you have this limited belief, this limited mindset, this limited thinking, it can imprison your legacy. We are required. It is a requirement for us to build a legacy. We're not just here to just Live, eat, and die. There's something we came here to do. All of us. All of us. To serve mankind. Every one of us was given a talent or two to use, to invest, to sow, to steward, to reap, to bless others, to serve others, to help others, to build a kingdom right here on earth. We all have that as our mandate. So if you're not building or not creating or not producing or not feeding into or sowing into or leaning into what you're called to do, then you're not being creative. You're not fulfilling the mandate. And I'm not telling you you have to start a business. I'm not telling you you have to write books. I'm not telling you you have to serve in a mission. I'm telling you that there is something that you are required to do to leave a legacy for your family. Right? So for that declaration, I want you to write, I think like a builder, speak like a leader, and act like a finisher. I think like a builder, speak like a leader, and act like a finisher. Those are the 3 declarations for you today. And for your journal assignment, for those of you who are watching right now, and for those of you who will watch the replay, your journal assignment is this. What thoughts do you need to release, and what truths do you need to embrace? Think about it. What thoughts do you need to release, and what truths do you need to embrace? All right. That's it for us today. And I look forward for you being here with me tomorrow. Tomorrow, my topic is purpose over popularity. We're going to talk about purpose over popularity. And I have a special guest with me tomorrow. You're going to enjoy her. So come back here with me tomorrow at 8 a.m. as we continue with the summer series of Jesus, Joan, and Journal. I hope that today blessed you. I hope that you walk away with something that you can use. I hope that you're walking away with some nuggets. Every day we learn. We don't know it all. Right? We don't know it all. No matter how educated we are, no matter how experienced we are, no matter how long we have been on earth, we learn every day. I learn from my grandchildren every single day. They're 13, 11, 8 and 7. And every day I learn something from them. So always be in a posture open to learning, because we do not know it all. But I hope you walked away with something today. Thank you, Dr. Jasmine. So nice that you were here with me today. God bless you all, guys. And we'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.